Oh, that's been a while. Uh, but it's good to be doing stuff like this again. But it's going to be very interesting today. Well, it's actually going to be an interesting few months, depending on how long this actually goes, because holy shit, it's been a journey so far. So, before I go into the main feed to technically spoil what we're going to be uh, endearing ourselves to, I want to talk about what the hell has been just going on the past 15 years, because it's been 15 years since I actually started doing, you know, YouTube, and over those times I've done arts, I've done streaming, I've done a lot of interesting experiments over the years. Man, it's kind of hard to really talk about the journey I've really been through. If you see the streaming soon, this is gonna be the this is gonna be the image you're gonna be seeing for every time we start up streaming. But you can see all the thumbnails, not all of them. Uh, this is like the first video of each uh, year, with the exception of the two in the back. The two in the back is 2011 and 2012. Those years are completely missing. I made my first ever YouTube channel back in July 6th of 2011. That channel is completely gone, so I can't get any thumbnails or videos to react to for today on that channel. Unfortunately, that is a shame to a point. I am not going to say that I miss it. I'm not going to say that it is. I can't really say that I am going to really be too terribly hurt about that being gone. On the other hand, I would really like to have, look through and see where my beginnings were and how cringy it all was, because I remember a lot of the cringy shit. So, with all that said, before we do, bitrate seems to be a little wonky, despite the fact that uh, I checked the I checked the speed test. It said I was doing fine. Okay, I guess changing the CPU speed was all it really needed. So, let's get into the streaming setup, because you can see, uh, one part of the childhood here. It took me a while to figure out the name of it, because it's been so long. I haven't been on this site for a while. So long, in fact, that it's actually dead. It's completely gone. And thankfully, someone put it in the Wayback Machine so we can look at this absolute specimen right here. It's going to be a weird little journey, because I'm going to just look through this, because I just want to reminisce for just a moment to see how weird and just crazy this really was. And like, looking at all of these, I remember, like, I'm gonna go into comics real quick because I remember uh, going back every once in a while for insomnia. I want to say that's like a pun on insomnia. I kind of don't get it. I don't think it has anything to do with anything. In retrospect, unfortunately, if you go on it now, error because this is not everything. Not everything is completely archived. Thankfully, on the other hand, the sprite sheets, every single sprite sheet, is here and accounted for. So, like, if I wanted to go over here and click on the shadow, there you go. You got your edgy hedgy sprite sheet, and if we want to download it, we can. In fact, I'm going to do that right now because I want to do something little fun later. In fact, I'm going to download a few because I haven't downloaded everything. I downloaded one earlier for one reason and one reason only. So we're going to download Eggman. Silver. We need to look into where would Silver be classified as. He wouldn't be in the main, I would think, because we kind of forget that Silver. I don't think we forgot necessarily, but we need to remember that Silver was very not liked back in the day. He was a very unpopular character, to say the least. Does not seem to be the case. So he's going to be in the others. So while this is all kind of downloading, I should probably talk about what the channel was about, because if you remember, like, back in the day, I don't know if it's really like a huge thing now, but back in the early 2010s, and there's Silver right there. Back in that day, there was this small community of sprite animators. What that meant realistically was like just 2D stop motion at the end of the day. What you did was you took some sprites, you put them into MS Paint, you have a few windows of MS Paint for all the sprite sheets, and then you have one for like the backgrounds and all that. This was back in the day where layers weren't really a thing necessarily. I think one channel, Kudu17, I think he had a way to do that. I don't know what he used, but he was one of the bigger ones, and his animation was fluid to the point where I'm pretty sure he actually did use something other than what many other people, including myself, used, which was Movie Maker. Movie Maker kind of sucked because all you can really do is one video layer, and I think it wasn't like unlimited audio layers. I think I want to say it was at least 2. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was only 2. Movie Maker's not really a thing anymore. I wanted to download it just for the hell of it, for this little nostalgic experiment, but unfortunately that is not necessarily. It's technically still a thing, but it's not like it was back in the day. And I'm pretty sure I can find like the original, like, late 2000s, early 2010s version of it. But I'm not that dedicated. We're just gonna not show off that form of the process, but we are going to do one little thing. Now, one thing I want to talk about, one thing that I've always wondered about the community, because one of the things that the community did a lot, and I'm pretty sure everyone did this, I didn't. I wanted to do something a little new, but the commonality between a lot of these sprite animators was something called the Sonic, Shadow, and Silver Show, where the three hedgehogs were in this mansion and they had little wacky adventures. It was all that thing, and everyone had their own little special OC. I don't remember a lot of the names. I became mutuals with many of them over the years. I don't want to name a lot of them because a lot of the ones that I became mutuals with became very, let's just say, odd people, to say the least. I'm still friends with a couple of them, but that's only because, well, not only because, but they stopped doing the sprite animating stuff like around the time I did back in late 2012. I didn't. So let's start here. But yeah, one of the things I always very confused by was the types of sprites they used, because every character sprite was using the Sonic battle sprites, not the advanced sprites, the battle specifically. Silver didn't have a battle sprite, obviously. Well, technically he does. I want to go back. This is a custom sprite right here, but nobody used the sprite. Oh, probably because of this. No, I highly doubt it. But this was the most common one. And it stuck out like a sore thumb. I don't mind this sprite. I really don't. I think this sprite is actually really good. But compared to the battle sprites, it was very odd. It was very weird. And I'm not entirely sure why everyone used that sprite specifically. Is this one still up? Oh, yeah. I guess this one technically would have counted. Neox, I think I remember. Oh man. Looking at this, like, holy shit. Gender bents were all the rage back in the day. I think a lot of sprite animators did a lot of like gender bent episodes and all the like. And I remember a lot of transphobic jokes as well. I made a few of them myself up until a lot later than I probably should have, but well, that is a story we'll get through a lot later on. But yeah, you look through all this, it's like there's just a lot of interesting little things here. It really is a blast from the past. I really do kind of miss this era to a point. I have no idea why Chip is in Place the Cat. That is weird. But yeah, it's not necessarily the most wholesome thing here, but it's also like, I don't know. It was a good part of my teenage years. Human shadow right here. But I don't know. It's something to reminisce with. But one thing I want to show, because unlike everyone else, I did have an OC, but it wasn't a Mobian or an anthropomorphic animal. I go to the alternate universe, because I'm pretty sure the sprite is in here. Yes. So my character was based on this. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the character in terms of its sprite form. And when I went to the Mystic Forest Zone, I saw this. It's like, this is perfect. And I'll show you why it's perfect. Because it is so lazy. But I don't need to download it because I already did. And I already edited it for our pleasure. When I looked through this, I looked this like species switch. Maria. A lot of people use this as like when they needed a love interest for Shadow, and then they find this random hedgehog that kind of looked like Maria, had the same name, was very weird. I don't get it. Also, what the hell? This is not a species switch. This is a gender bent. I guess. Yeah, whatever. The community is quite odd. The Metroid. This was around the. This is back when I didn't know exactly what a Metroid was, but I thought it looked cool either way. I didn't know Halo. That is very, very underwhelming. This was weird. I could go on with all this. This is bringing me back. That's a cream doll. They did. Someone made a cream doll. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but like, okay, whatever. Yeah, that's about it. We'll leave it there. But yeah, you can see right there that I have 2 MS Paint files up and ready to go. And you want to see the sprite sheet, the long lost sprite sheet that I kind of sort of recreated. Looking at this is kind of surreal. There are a few sprites that I actually made like custom. I remember actually being really into it. Like, I remember having I think I used this sprite right here specifically to use it as like a back laying sprite. Let me see if I can show it off what I mean here. Like, you go rotate, and I think it's right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I did this, and I kind of edited it a little bit. I'm not gonna do anything here. I don't really think it's worth a damn moment to really go into detail. I already put in way more effort than I really needed to here. So this, as you can see right here on the name here, J Sonic. That was the name of the character, and I was such a huge Sonic fan back then. I was absolutely enamored with the blue fuck. Like, everything about him I wanted to emulate, and the name itself really hit that, to the point where the entire character was just basically Sonic Man, but in a teenage body. It was a cringy time, I tell you. I know you can see right here, but let me explain this real quick. So I was a huge Sonic Riders fan. I loved Sonic Riders to death. Still kind of do. I will defend Sonic Riders to the death. I know a lot of people really don't like those games. I completed the hell out of it, to the point where the original name of... Well, actually, I shouldn't say the original name. The name of the first channel was Sonic Rider. And then there was 223. I don't know where the 223 came from, but Sonic Rider 223. That was the name of the channel, and I don't have a lot to say in terms of the name itself. It's just whatever. But I wanted to keep that identity alive, so I made this board. I'm pretty sure it wasn't this detailed. I actually wanted to be a little more detailed. I actually do like this. The name of the board was Lavender because it's purple, and J Sonic was kind of like a trying to be like a Roy G. Biv kind of thing because I thought that was clever back in the day. Despite the fact that I didn't really have, I think no. I wanted to say there wasn't any like red, but I think if I remember correctly, let me zoom in a little bit. I want to say it was either the souls were red. I want to, or like there was like a buckle. No, no. There was a buckle on the. It was like a silver buckle, but it didn't have a strap, so I don't know why it had a buckle. I'm remembering all of this like in real time. It's very, very odd, very strange. But yeah, despite the Roy G. Biv, I don't know. But yeah, there was like every color on the spectrum was supposed to be uh connected with this little thing. There was also a backstory. I don't remember a lot of the backstory per se. I want to say he was an experiment because that was all the rage. Everyone was a secret experiment on the Ark that nobody knew of, and I think J Sonic was one of them. I don't remember. I don't particularly care what the overall point of the character was. But now I want to talk about this. I had to find the sprite. I couldn't find the sprite for the life of me. I knew where it came from, but it was just a massive pain in the ass because I knew this was Darkstalkers. I knew this was Darkstalkers because I loved playing Darkstalkers when I was younger. A friend of mine had a PlayStation, and they had I don't remember which Darkstalkers it was, but it was Darkstalkers, and I remember, or maybe it wasn't Darkstalkers, maybe it was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, because this is where the sprite came from. This is where I got the sprite. Whatever the case, I remember it was from Morgan, and yeah, this was everyone used this gun. I think Shadow used this. Shadow was the one that used this gun often. Like it was like the one gun. Everyone called it an AK-47, and I don't know why. I don't particularly know why. And I don't think I heavily edited this gun. I think back then I just didn't edit it at all. It was just, other than just recoloring, because all of this sheet is basically just an overly recolored version of the tail sprite, with the little tails on the neck just completely edited out. I didn't put a lot of effort into it. I'm pretty sure I put more effort into this than I did back then. That's how little effort I really put into it. So much to the point where at one point everything on the computer was completely wiped out at one point. I had to redo the entire sheet. And the problem was that I didn't have a lot of really energy to put into recreating this sprite sheet. So I didn't put a lot of time into the story that I wanted to make. And I'll get to what the plan was for that. But what I did in the meantime, I had four mutuals. I had four mutuals that I was willing to ask, hey, I need your sprite sheet as like filler. I don't think I ever told them that it was filler, but I told them, hey, can I borrow your sprite sheet because I just need it. And they were willing to do so. Don't really know why, because I'm pretty sure they didn't know who I was particularly. Actually, that's not true. At least two of them knew who I was. Because one of them was actually my first mutual. And the other one, we just became friends, like, out of whim. I don't remember the overall specifics, but it doesn't really matter. Point is, I had four people that I asked. They gave me sprite sheets, and what I did was so cringe in retrospect. I used their sprites for lip syncs of Big Bang Theory moments. Because that was another thing I was really into at the time. The Big Bang Theory. Sitcoms in general. I remember, not Chuck Jones, Chuck Lorre. Chuck Lorre himself. His shows I watched a lot of. Like, late night sitcoms overall, I was just really into them. And a couple I still go back to once in a while, like How I Met Your Mother. I still think that show is still genuinely really good. But Big Bang Theory was the big one for me. I don't know why. Nowadays, I think it's just cringy. I think it's very both cringy and also kind of like boring in the way it was really wanting to be. It was very odd. And one of my biggest memories from that little experiment, I guess I want to say, was like one of the guys that I procured the sprite from. He commented on it in a way that doxed him. Like, one of the names had it name dropped like an ant, and he just commented straight up like, "Oh, the character you tied this to has the same name of the ant that I have," and that was dumb. That was dumb in hindsight. But considering who he became over time, that's not entirely surprising because he is a very, very unintelligent human being. I think he still is. We're not friends anymore, if you couldn't tell. A good majority of the people that I guess collabed? I don't know. Collabed. Not friends anymore, except with the exception of two people. And just leave it there. I don't think it really matters. Don't really think it really matters. But like over time, like this was a time where I really needed to experiment with a lot of things. And just over time, I kind of realized that I didn't really want to do this. I wanted to do animation, but I think this was one that this is like the type of animation that I just didn't want to do. You get me? But that didn't stop me from trying weird shit. Because I'm not gonna do much. Like, I remember going on Google Images and getting like a generic mansion because again, everyone did that. That was the style at the time. But I tried doing some so let's do this. So instead of like doing like the realistic thingamajigs, what I decided to do, and I'm pretty sure if I do this, this is gonna be so gross. Uh, one of the things that I did was I just did this. I made what was essentially like very basic shit. Very basic to the point where I'm pretty sure this is gonna look really gross. But you know, that was like the stat. Oh wait, I have these. Uh, if you couldn't tell, I haven't done this in a good long while. Let's redo this. So one of the storylines was it was completely silver related because I felt so bad about the character. Everyone was dunking on Silver. Everyone hated Silver the Hedgehog to the point where the entire joke of the community was, let's beat this motherfucker so much to the point where it kind of gets very uncomfortable. So one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to make like a little storyline about the guy. Like him finding his like finding his find like who he was as a character because I I liked Silver, but I didn't know anything about him in terms of the games or the comics. I didn't know any of that because I was not much of a um I didn't have an Xbox, I didn't have a PlayStation. I was strictly Nintendo, didn't really have a lot of abilities to really know who Silver was. And, you know, over the course of time, when I decided to really learn who he was, I think I kind of just stopped doing it. But I still wanted to do something with the character because at this point I was kind of locked in. And I want to talk about it in detail. But yeah, going back to the ideas I had, I made this weird idea that you had this weird this weird civilization of hedgehogs that were like, I don't know, they were like ancient hedgehogs with psychic abilities, kind of Atlantean to a point, but in the desert. It was a little too complicated for my brain. I also don't remember the specifics. I do not. But yeah. It was a weird time to figure out what I wanted to do with the character. I don't know why I downloaded the sprite sheets and not thinking about, let's put them into MS Paint. If I can find them anyway. I don't know what Windows did. Windows did this weird thing where they just don't like having the I don't know what to say. The thumbnails are just generic, and I need to check the names of them real quick. See if I can. Oh my god, maybe I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. Oh, nope, okay, so let's make a couple of paints real quick because I want to. So let's go through the process. Let's go through the process because the process is weird. Very odd. Very odd. So give me one moment. So I have this little sprite. I want to copy that, and then we put him here. Oh, right. One of the things you gotta do is, because the sprite sheets have a color, you want to make sure that, oh my god, doing this, just seeing this really hits me to a point where I am very just doing this was weird. Let's see. What other character do I want? Well, I have this fucker. This is a weird thing. So yeah. Getting this, let's copy, and then we're going to, I don't remember if, yep, no. So we gotta do that, and there you go. And because J-Sonic is facing to the right, we're gonna have to rotate him horizontally. Do you see this? Do you see this? This is so weird on a, like, they look so odd. First off, MS Paint does not have a way in which you can scale the sprites perfectly, I want to say. I guess this way could have worked. Actually, no, I think this was the way you did it. But I think I just stretched them out, and it looks odd. Past that, though, J-Sonic has the black outlines, very subtle shading. I think back then the shading was not even that big. J-Sonic also looks chubby with that curvature. It's very, very odd. And then you have Silver here, and he looks just... It's almost like they tried to make the Sonic 06 model and just turned it into this. And just tried to make it 2D, which looks great. In this style, though, it looks gross. Looks disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And, like, what you did here was... Oh, man. Okay, so this was very tedious because you had these two fuckers right here. Then you saved the image. And once you're done with that, you take them out, and then you make them where's the walking cycle? There he is. I was wondering if Silver even had a walk cycle, but no, he does. He does. Uh, so get this fucker. And the problem is, I think to save time, I did make the background for J-Sonic's sheet just pure white. But yeah, no, it was... No, fuck it. No one cares. So you had... Like, you did this, and I think... I don't know why I'm putting so much effort in just telling you what the hell I'm doing. The overall point is... You just did this over and over again to make them look like they were walking or doing whatever. And that was the process. And I think I only made 2 videos of this. When I did those, like, Big Bang Theory voiceovers, all the sprites did was just lay there. And you want to know what I did to make them look like they were talking? You want to know what we did? Actually, best way to show this is with Shadow, actually, because he was the perfect... Like, one of the people I knew just had this character recolored to different colors. I'm not gonna do them specifically. I don't want to completely dox them, but yeah, no. You want to know what we did to make them look like they were talking? You just put a dot, and then look. Hello, I am Shadow the Hedgehog. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I don't know. No, you killed my best friend. Prepare to die. Dumb. Fucking dumb. And it wasn't even like doing like little lips things like you do this kind of mouth, you can barely see it, but do this for like a t sound or a you get it. And then you do this for like when your mouth is closed. You get lip syncing. I didn't do that. I was too lazy for that. Most people were too lazy to do that. Most people didn't even do that. They just let the characters just stay there. I at least had the energy to make them look like they were lip syncing. I don't know why, personally. But that was kind of the channel. I need drink. I just realized I didn't have the ability to drink. Oh, wait. Oh, this isn't the battle sheet. Oh, this was this oh, I think this was oh, this is advanced style. I completely missed that. I thought this was the battle sprite. Maybe it is the battle sprite, but they also made a few advanced poses. I don't know. It's very interesting indeed. This little history of mine, but that wasn't the only thing I did on the channel. So I'm gonna just leave it on this little fucker for the time being. I did a lot of other things on the first channel as well. What some of them were I tried voice acting for the first time. Also, one of the things that those videos did, almost nobody really did voiceover. Mostly because I don't think anyone really wanted to put a lot of their money on making on a microphone. At one point, I did, and I I don't remember what type of microphone it was. It was a very cheap one. I know that for a fact. And I did some voiceover. I tried to do a voice for Sonic. I did voice for Shadow, and I did a voice for Silver. I think nowadays I can do. I think I can do a Silver voice pretty okay. And like Sonic is very energized. I can do that pretty easily as well. But like back when I was like 15 years old, I was 15 at this time. I can't say I was good. I don't think I was good. There ain't no way in hell I was good at it. But I tried it. And I think I did one other thing I don't remember. But one thing I do remember, every video I made, just about everyone hated it. Everyone hated everything I made. And the music is not helping here. Everyone really did not like my stuff. I'm pretty sure every video I made had like an 80% dislike ratio. Everyone that watched them, they thought I sucked. They thought I... Like, nobody commented, but they definitely disliked. And I wish these people had the balls to really comment. Because I really wanted to figure out what I could do differently. And like the people that I was mutuals with, I didn't really have the balls to really ask them what I needed to do to make it more, tell them what did I need to do differently. So over time, I just pivoted. Completely scrapped the animation altogether. And one of the mutuals that I was with was doing Let's Plays. And I was following a couple of Let's Players at the time as well. One of those being Clement. Clement J64, I want to say his full name. The Great Clement. He's still around. Love his stuff. But back then he did Let's Plays. And one of those Let's Plays that made me realize, yeah, I want to do this. I want to do this instead. Was when he did a playthrough of Banjo-Kazooie. And the mutual I was with was also doing Banjo-Kazooie. And I remember playing Banjo-Kazooie when I was younger, and I wanted to start with a Let's Play of Banjo-Kazooie. Now, like the sprite videos themselves, that playthrough is no more for dumbass reasons. But with all that said, that was the start of what was at the time the side channel, which became the main channel, and I completely destroyed this channel outright. Because back then, If it was obsolete, if I didn't like it, kill it. That was the same with a lot of stuff. Like when I posted a lot of artwork at the time. Actually, this is a great way to close out. Actually, I only have a few pieces of art at the time. This is 2012. Yeah, you see this. This one, I don't remember who this is, and I don't think I really care enough to really learn. Uh, where was the Where was the fucking icon? Oh, it was in the downloads. I didn't. Yep, here we go. This is the only icon. This is the only piece of artwork that I could find. Because this was an old Gmail icon. Which was completely cropped from a different... from a completely bigger piece. But as you can see, this looks god-awful. I was trying to make something on MS Paint only, and it definitely looks like it. It looks gross. But I made a lot of pieces like this. I also had JSonic on the Lavender, and that is completely gone. One of the videos I made, actually, was just that piece of artwork with Sonic Freeriders Free as the background music. And I made that like his theme song, I guess you can say, because he was free and all that stuff. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really care at the end of the day. I do wish I had all this artwork, though. Just to see how much I have changed. I'm pretty sure I still have some pieces of art lying around, but I like the digital stuff. All the most, if not all, the physical stuff I made back then is completely like trashed, thrown away, never to be seen again. Which it's a shame, honestly. I wish I didn't do that, because I would love to have seen how much I have grown in the past, 15 years. And that's kind of the whole point of this little series that I'm going to be doing for a while. With that said, that was the first channel. That was kind of all it really was. And it's not something that I'm terribly missing, but it is something that I would have loved to seen just as a historical piece. But with all that said, that's the end. And tomorrow, I want to say tomorrow, we're going to start our little reaction of the Let's Plays that I did. I made 20 of them. Well, at least 20 of them. I made a lot of others that are not on the channel themselves, but that's a story for tomorrow. And we're just going to end it there. This one was a little short. I also started a little later than I wanted to, but I also knew that I wasn't going to spend too much time on it. But yeah, I will see you all tomorrow when we react to the second Let's Play that I made. But the first that is still publicly available. You'll see what I mean there. You probably know what I mean, but we'll give more context. I already made context earlier. You know the context. We're just going to end it. See you tomorrow.